All right. Today was fun. Day 2. Excuse me. I don't believe I asked. It still shows up. Dang it. I'll just have to move it behind me. Yeah, whatever. So, we explored a bunch today. Got some videos. After this little snippet of me explaining what's going on, it'll be fun. Day 4, I might not record because it'll be too tedious and not enough to indulge in. Internet broke 3-4 times, maybe a 5th time later. Doesn't matter. Breakfast was good. I have no jet lag, and I'm not even being sarcastic. Like, I'm on their schedule. Don't know what time it is. Feels to me like 4-ish. So that's good. I'm gonna show you the snippets. There's gonna be some audio. Feel free to enjoy. This was Justin. See you tomorrow. Hey guys. What is this exactly?
This is the entrance to the Capitoline Hill.
Ooh.
And on the side parts there are 2 very old pagan gods. They are Castor and Pollux. They are Greek gods. In Romans, they believe Castor and Pollux were able to help them to win important battles. So that's the best way just to build their status. This hill has been renovated in the 16th century by a very famous artist, Michelangelo. And Michelangelo used the very old statues just to place them at the entrance of the hill. To show the beauty of the statues.
So Michelangelo did these statues?
Michelangelo, they found them. Then he was just renovating the hill. So they found these excavations of statues. So the statues are from the time of So it's beautiful part. So, and this is, I've shown you the Palatine Hill, Aventine Hill. This is Capitoline Hill. In the time of Roman Empire, 1st, 2nd century, 3rd century, this was a religious center. And here there's a big temple dedicated to the main Roman god who was Jupiter.
Okay.
And so Romans all the time they left offerings to Jupiter, just to say to him, thank you, you will just to help us. And this is a statue of the emperor. And he is one of the good emperors. He is Marcus Aurelius. He's one of the first emperors in the list of the good emperors. So he traveled a lot, he did not enlarge, he didn't organize this kind of wars. But this is a copy. And the original one was placed inside of the Capitoline museums because Asian bronze just oxidized during the centuries. And interesting that the statues are just made in bronze, because usually they melted down all the bronze statues because everybody believed that he was Emperor Constantine. And Constantine was very much appreciated because he legalized Christianity and nobody was able just to melt him down. So show you, let's go in this way. And Michelangelo, how did he change the style of the hill? So you see, this hill looks like in the 16th century in Italy, there was a style in decoration buildings and painting and sculpture. It was called Renaissance.
Oh yeah.
Renaissance is a rebirth of Asian classical art coming from Greece and from ancient Rome. So that's why Michelangelo redesigned the facade of this building just places beautiful staircases just to go up. And also just changing the facades of two buildings just in here. But there is what I'm bringing you in this part. This was just interesting in here. There is a view.
Oh. Oh my goodness, I can already start to see it. Look at all those people.
Where? Ah, on the upper part?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a really, I'm embarrassed to ask this, but where's the Sistine Chapel?
Sistine Chapel? No, it's a good question, thank you. Is in the Vatican.
Oh, it is, okay.
And just Sistine Chapel, when we go to the Vatican, you will visit the Vatican museums. The Vatican museums is a collection of art, collection of books, museums. And the ones
Look at that view. That is neat.
And I love this place. Just have a look how beautiful this place is. You will be in this square when you will visit Colosseum.
Oh, okay.
Colosseum or before Colosseum.
Oh,
It's just,
right there.
so and the
Colosseum.
Colosseum.
Yeah, okay.
And you are holding this by the tree in the middle. Just in there, behind the tree. So and we can come here. We are looking at this Roman Forum. And Forum was a central square facing Romans.
Okay.
It was a business, economical and political center. How it used to be. So this is just they've done this picture from the middle arch of this building. So there is an arch. There are 3 columns in here. Can you see them?
Let them over
Yeah,
there.
and there are columns just also.
Right over there.
In there. But if I will show you, this part used to be like this.
No.
Yeah.
I do not believe that.
And what was it used for?
It was a forum. It was a central square
For economics
it
and
was, for example,
political.
it's quite a good question. How did it use it? For example, in here there was a special platform from where politicians used to address people on the square because they didn't have any kind of facilities, just no newspapers, no radio. How it was possible to let people know the news in here? You see where the bits of columns in here? This was a shopping mall.
Okay.
So people were able just to come. This part, this was a temple dedicated to the god Saturn, god of agriculture. So it's the best way. You are growing vegetables. You would like just to have your big vegetables, so you will need to come here just to ask God for help. Behind the arch there was a senators. And also there was a main street for military parades. Started from that arch, which is down below, which is just in the distance, and goes all the way in here. And then just they needed to go up this way, just to climb up to Anfield, just to leave offerings and not go. Just to say thank you. It's just all past to win and pools and that. So this was, so we can say this was political, economical, religious. This is a meeting place. This is a place just to worship your God. Sometimes you have to do nothing.
Just to take a nice walk.
Yeah, exactly. Or, for example, maybe to go to a wine shop and take a glass of wine to sit and stuff. Just people. Sometimes you have the main Spanish place where you live.
Every area has their name.
So in Italy, there is a nice word, piazza. If you live in a small town, in a village, or in a big city, just piazza is a central part. If you would like to meet your friend, you will go to piazza. There is a coffee shop, you can have a drink, for example. Or just there is a church, or there are local authorities, or there are restaurants. So everything. So this is, and you see, just we have the only ruins because after the fall of Roman Empire, so some of the building collapsed, there were earthquakes. People did think about how much history was behind. Everything has been taken away. And many churches in Rome have been built using building material coming from here. So all of these rooms are nicely framed in marble, right? Just and now we have this kind. So the square is not, and this was not big, not so huge. Starts from here and ends where the other arch is.
Okay.
So this is the size. And this square was in between 7 hills. and they decided it was comfortable. If you live on that is Palatine Hill or Catalan Hill, just go down the hill.
Yeah.
It's just to make you friend. Or bark, for example, you have enough milk, you have cheese or something else, candies. So give me your candies. I'm going to give you metal. Also, this is from the beginning, and then slowly, just they build. And this is
For trading.
No, trading exactly. This was Roman Forum.
Yep.
This was it's beautiful.
Can we do a photo here?
Yeah.
Yeah, photo.
So this is not the right place to throw your coin. The right place only one, the Trevi found. And people, I don't know why everybody wants to leave the coin in here.
Good luck, I guess.
Good luck, maybe. Please give me your camera. Yeah.
In Spanish, what would you call it? Piazza. Oh, the plazas. Wait.
So how do you call piazza?
The plaza.
Plaza.
Well, no, but I don't know what that is. Square.
And how do you call in Spanish? Thank you. Because in Italian is palazzo. Palazzo. Plaza. It's very. Yeah. Can you understand Italian? A little bit. Like, is it difficult to speak slow? Can you understand? Yeah. It's just very similar. There are many differences because roots are in Latin, right? So, and also in here, there is a symbol of Rome. So, you may see the symbol just all around that little souvenirs. I will show you which one is a symbol of Rome. Let's go to square. Oh, piazza. So this is piazza. Okay. So if I talk slowly, I can understand. So I can also like read. Can you? If you're reading, can you understand? For example, menu in. Let's walk in here. Can you read the? If you read the menu in Italian, can you understand? Yeah. Okay, perfect. You don't read the whole family. So that is just the idea to be translator.
Quick question.
Yes,
What
please.
is that red and yellow flag?
So that is a flag of Rome. So each city in Italy has own flag, and that is also the flag of Roman football team, Roma.
Yeah,
They are dressed in two colors.
red and yellow. I've seen it on TV.
Really?
I've seen, well, those specific colors on TV, so I'm going to assume it was.
Because it's in the watch. So have you looked in here? Can you see there is a shop? See? Nice. So that is a legend of the foundation of Rome. Rome was founded so they have been abandoned on the Palatine Hill, and she wolf found them, and she fed them using corn milk. They grew up, and one of them became the first king of Rome, Romulus, and he used his own name to name the city. In Italian pronunciation is Roma. It was named after Romulus. So the wolf is really very old, and they added two babies later to remind us the story about this is a copy, and the original one was placed inside of the Capitoline museums. Okay, let's go this way. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's better right now, respect of the noon or morning time. And this is Capitoline Hill. So we have seen Palatine Hill. We haven't been on the Palatine Hill, but we will be on the Palatine Hill when we visit the Colosseum.
Yeah.
We will be on the Aventine Hill, where just there is a keyhole.
Keyhole, yeah.
And this is Capitoline Hill.
Yeah.
You will see the Capitoline Hill when we will be on Forum. Just it will be the back part of the hill. So this is beautiful, and all these parts are also beautiful in the evening because I like them, and it's very pretty. And the Colosseum is also like just in case you walk around the Colosseum, you'll see how beautiful the Colosseum is.
Italy's parents capital government buildings. They're not in any old buildings like this.
So I'll show you the government buildings. They are in the previous buildings of wealthy families.
Okay.
For example, from the 16th century, there was a Medici family. From there, coming from you'll go to Florence, and Florence for many centuries was ruled by Medici family, and two members of the Medici family became popes. As soon as one of them became pope, they built a huge building for the whole family to show it was tradition of each papal family. And now just the Medici Palace is a Senate house.
Okay.
And there was another building built by another wealthy family. Now just it's a seat of our government.
Okay.
So this is just, they are not in the oldest buildings, but
still
16th century. For example, in this building, there is a seizure from local authorities. They are in this building. But this has been redesigned by Michelangelo in the 16th century. So most of the government buildings, they are from the 16th, 17th. They're beautiful. Just even from outside, I will show you.
How did Michelangelo get the contract?
It's a good question. Because in that time, so Michelangelo was from Florence, right? He was Florentine.
Okay.
And Raphael also came from that area, not exactly from Florence, but he was in Florence also. In that time, but talking about the time of Michelangelo, the 16th century, Florence was London of the time. It was London of the time, of the modern era.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was like London.
I see, okay, yeah.
So that means it was very developed city, and the art was very developed in that
Yep.
in Florence. And Florentine artists were the most well-known and most requested artists all around Italy. Pope handed famous. So that is artist. And at the same time, for Michelangelo, it was also convenient to come to Rome because it was important to have permission from Greece. At the time of Michelangelo, Italy was divided.
Look at this.
By each family was Ducat of Florence. Venice was a Venetian colony. Rome was the capital because of the Roman popes. So something like in the modern era, the Queen of England is going to call you to be in the city of your chapel. So that is why they just different opinions. First of all, some art historians will say Michelangelo did not like to have it. Others then say Michelangelo wants to come. Because everybody wanted to get permission. Because if you get permission from the Pope, so that means you can be internationally famous. Something that Queen Elizabeth, it wasn't just permission for painting and
So, yeah, that was one of the 7 hills that we were just on. I didn't even get to do an introduction, but yeah.
now, you just pull up this shirts down, put them down, and that is okay. It's not necessary to wear all.
Okay.
So this is very beautiful. Look, just the shape of the square looks like the stadium. And here is just an ancient time. This was a stadium, really just in the 1st century. So let's just move on. And it was built by the same family who built the Colosseum, the Flavian family. You will learn it. And that was after the Colosseum system, after the 17th century. In the 17th century, a very wealthy family came to the power. And one of the members of the family became pope. And so he built this.
Wow.
For the only one family, for papal family, and there was a balcony from the
How big was the family?
So the family was not so big, but it was extremely rich. They were bankers.
Yeah,
So
no
that's-
kidding.
So, and then just there was a church, the family church, house church was called one. And then just a family, Pope was building on sail. the beginning of 1900s because it's looking extremely exciting. Thanks to if you look at the flag, Brazil just acquired this building. And what do we have? There is an embassy in Brazil in here. There is a cultural activity book center in Brazil.
It's the cultural center for Brazil and Italy.
Cultural center for Brazil. I've been inside only once because just Brazil embassy. Brazil embassy means that it's the land of Brazil. So we need to write a special request, and then just will check you for a couple of weeks, and then send you email if they agree to come to look at the beautiful ceilings of the palace. This is really good. And the same family, they just miss the central fountain. Really, just they're very upset because the square was without fountain, and they organized a contest in between artists, and one artist whose last name was Bernini from the 17th century, he won the contest, the competition. He was honored by the Pope just to put this fountain, and that is one of the beautiful fountains that we have in Rome. The official name, the Fountain of the Four Rivers. So let's have a look because it's beautiful.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't see it. So this is the church. They have a priest. Did he live here?
The priest lives in here. Yeah.
So
But the family doesn't have power anymore.
But what did the priest do all day?
But each church has own priest, right? Just but this is not family church anymore. This is Church of the Vatican.
No, but back then.
Yeah, but then back then, obviously, just to serve the family. The family, they were bankers. They paid him. Why not? If I have enough money, I have my own church, my own bath, my own shop, my own tradition in that time, in those centuries. As soon as one pope was elected, the first tradition was immediately after his election, he commissioned the and the second one, he took the church.
Sure, give me your phone.
So we're going to Pienza. And I read about the Pope there. Built that town.
Also, there is ancient.
That good? Look at that. It's better sideways. You can fit the full screen. That good? Or you want it shorter?
One more the same way, but
Wait, stay there. Great. That should be good. I think I took a photo. Whoa! Look at that, that's cool. That's it. Cultural Center for Brazil and Italy. Very impressive. Can't go inside, need to talk to Brazil themselves about it. Really nice place.
1946, there was a referendum, and the Italians decided to be republic. So that's why I just have to kill them immediately after. But let's have a look at this. Let's start on this. It's very romantic. So the fountain is how old? This is just 200 years old. This is just from the 17th century. And 17th century, remember, we've been in the Capitoline Hill, as I mentioned, Renaissance period. So this is a little bit 100 of years later. This is Baroque. And Baroque is just a modern art, a theater, performance, emotions. The official name is the Fountain of the Four Rivers. Each statue symbolizes one river, and one river symbolizes one particular part of the world, known in that time. So if you look at this one, this is...
Want to take video?
No, Also take the picture. Yeah, well, we can wait. Take a picture.
That good?
Yeah. Is it good? So this is symbolize Ganges. So we are in India, we are in Asia. So this symbolizes Asia. And they have represented Ganges with a paddle. So that means they were able to use the river in the canoe just to take a boat, just to cross the river. And look at a very unusual sea monster opens its mouth to get some water. And the statues are made in marble. That is Carrara marble. Carrara is in Tuscany, where you are going, very close to Florence. And the rest of the fountain are done in limestone. Limestone is local. Colosseum was done in limestone. So Ganges. Let's go next.
Look at these.
And this is just with the face covered. We are looking at the river Nile. We are in Africa, in Egypt, right? And look, just to symbolize Africa, we have also a palm tree. And the animal is
A lion?
a lion. Okay. Let's see, if you look at the face of the river Ganges, the face is open. It's just hidden behind the veil. So in Italian TV, there is a program Who Wants to Win a Million, and this was a question for 70,000 euros. The answer: why the face of the lion has been covered by Bernini. So if you don't know, there is no possibility to discover. So at the time of Bernini, nobody knew where did the river start. There was a source of the river. It was unknown. And so that's why Bernini shows us that it was still unknown in the 17th century because the was in the 17th century. Let's have a look at America.
Oh boy. What's this? What are we walking on? Like, what's this?
This, the name of the stone is basalt.
Basalt?
Basalt. Just he asked me about the stone. The name of the stone is basalt. Basalt is solidated lava of volcano.
So, lava rock, basically.
So it was very cheap, and recently all the Romans are voted. Is it convenient to keep this stone, or just a second solution to remove everything, or just to put the new stone? And everybody voted to keep it. And this is just handmade wood. It's really expensive just to replace it. So and we have a river for South America, and it's Rio de la Plata, or La Plata across Argentina. And I mentioned we're talking about the 17th century. And Bernini, the artist, he wanted to represent South America by armadillo. But first of all, Bernini has never been in South America. He has never seen armadillo in his life. They didn't have Google, and they didn't have pictures, and they didn't have computers. So that is why his armadillo looks like dragon or crocodile, exactly, and not like armadillo. But we can forgive him because just has never seen armadillo in his life. Even
What
just.
What is
And
that?
it looks like dolphin, but there is a tail is very like a magic animal. It's beautiful. And look just on the back part, there is a back part of the lion, just with the tail. It's beautiful. And you see the river, the symbol of the river Nile, holds the coat of arms of the Pope, who commissioned the construction of the fountain, Innocent X. Each papal coat of arms there are two keys, can you see on top?
Yeah.
And there is a papal crown, officially named tiara. And then just in the lower part there is a shield, and each pope is able to select element. And this pope selected the dove, holds a branch of olive tree. So that is fun. Okay, let's go this way. I will show you.
It's got the face of a monkey, it's got the length of an eel, and the tail of a dolphin.
So there was a gossip of the time. So you see, Bernini represented Rio de la Plata. It seems to us just raising his arm, just trying to save himself. It seems to us the church is going to collapse because the fountain was built by Bernini and the church was built by his rival, Borromini. There were two rivals. And Bernini did not like Borromini. And that's why there was a gossip of the time that he decided to punish his rival just representing the sculpture, just it seems to us the church is ready to collapse. But this is not true, because first of all they built the fountain, and the second time they added the church. This is just people. They invented all this stuff.
Yeah, people do what people do.
Yeah. The first, and this is the River for Europe venue. It's very fast. Looks like a person there. And you see there is column.
Yeah, I was gonna ask what that is.
And can you see there are inscriptions in there?
Looks like
they
Egyptian.
Look like
Egyptian hieroglyphic.
This is not the real Egyptian obelisk. This is a Roman copy from the 1st century AD. Because Romans, they conquered Egypt and they brought these columns, obelisks from Egypt. And there are real Egyptian obelisks. You will see it in the middle of St. Peter's Square in the Vatican, for example. And this is Roman copy. As they wanted to make them more, they missed them. And hieroglyphics, they're not really hieroglyphics, they're only pictures. They didn't know at that time how to read them. So that's why they use them like decoration for the obelisk. So this is a very famous fountain, the Fountain of the Four Rivers, by the artist whose name is Bernini. And we will talk about him in the back. And this is, remember?
Yep.
And before we have been on the Capitoline Hill, remember?
Capitoline.
And there was also Piazza Venezia,
Yeah.
and there was a wedding cake,
And then, yeah.
the white one, which is only 100 of years old, right?
May I ask more about the unknown soldier?
Unknown soldier, because then they opened in the...
Like, did no one know?
Nobody knew because they brought him there and they put bodies of unknown soldiers just died during the World War I. And that's why they just
So
sampled
it's
them.
a monument to all the unknown soldiers.
Yeah. And that is why in unknown soldiers, but the World War I. So not World War II. But generally we can say it's just monument of unknown soldiers because so many just died during the war. And that is also official right to leave the crown of flowers on the top of the tomb of unknown soldier, especially then some presidents and prime ministers have come.
Yep. And here we have the fake building.
Oh, this is a tradition. You notice they are providing restoration of the facade, and this is a local law. So they needed to paint on the cloth exactly or to put the picture of the building. Not because sometimes many companies they would like to use it for their posters. Just like to publish something like poems, for example, or art forms. And this is the Italian Capitol building, and they need to put on the cloth outside just exactly how a building looks like. So not to cover it. And maybe just this is a screen we use just to show movies in the night time, because otherwise just there is no explanation. Why did we leave the screen white?
That or no one's bought the toaster yet. That can also be it.
But even just the Vatican, there are some buildings there in the Vatican country, and they use, for example, there is he's another king. He is the son of Victor Emmanuel. His name is Umberto. All the inscriptions are in Latin language. In Latin language there is no letter U. Instead of U they're using D, Umberto. And his wife, the Queen Margaret. Queen Margaret, if you remember, what is the name of the most popular Italian pizza? Margherita. So Margherita, or Margaret, she visited Naples, and one of the restaurant owners decided to cook something particular for the Queen, and he used 3 colors of the flag: red, white, and green. What did he use for red? What kind of food?
Probably pepperonis or something. Yes.
My bad.
He's never. He only eats meat.
Do you like pepperoni?
Yeah.
What the tomato? What did he use for white?
And a pizza.
On a pizza,
Mushrooms.
vegetables, mozzarella.
What is it? Do you like pizza?
Yes, I love pizza. I'm just blanking here, okay?
And so mozzarella cheese, and for green, just basil. And Margherita, she was so happy to look at pizza, was so tasty that since that time they decided to make her name with pizza. That's why she's Pizza Margherita. And this is her burial place. And also one more important burial place in here. There is a coffin or sarcophagus in there. So in there is a body of Italian artist whose name is Raphael. So in the Renaissance in the 16th century in Rome, 2 great artists came just to look for the popes. The first one was Michelangelo to paint the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. It happened in the year 1508. And the second one was Raphael, because he was decorating papal apartments. And Raphael died in the year 1520. And he was sick, he knew that he was going to die, but he asked the possibility to be buried in the backyard. And religious Pope appreciated Raphael very much, because his body was like very old age and prophets. He was very young, he was like 37. So you will talk about Raphael and Michelangelo being in the Vatican. Also interesting question regarding sunlight. Imagine, how did they build this temple in the 2nd century AD? It's incredible because the sunlight penetrates through the window, shines on the central line, just crossing in particular seasons and particular time periods of the day in different spots. How did they know? And twice a year, usually in April and September, the sunlight, only one day in September, one day in April, shines exactly the arch on the top of the exit or entrance. And just they calculate, they publish usually in advance a day, and everybody comes here just to look at the sunlight. It's beautiful. So what do you think about this temple? Is it beautiful?
It's impressive.
And especially it's well preserved. It's incredible temple. Would you like to take a picture in the company? Give me your fancy camera in pink frame. It's beautiful.
Here, my phone as well.
That's it. We is
Not video.
photo.
No, not photo. Just keep it on
Video?
the video.
Is it already on?
Yeah, it's already on. Don't worry.
Okay. Say hello.
Hello. You can stop the video. Doesn't matter at all. So what is important in this church? So imagine the construction of the church was sponsored by Ludovisi family. This church is from the 17th century. The 17th century is Baroque period. And so the structure of the church is a rectangular shaped church. On the side parts we have chapels. And
usually wealthy families, they acquire chapels just to turn it in a burial place, and also just for the nice services, private ones as well. It's interesting, usually chapels are not communicated. One chapel, another chapel. In here, I will show you later, there are passageways from one chapel to another chapel. This was very important in the 17th century to show what looked like a family after Protestant church and split from the Catholic church. Let's go there, let's stay together. What is extremely important in here is a ceiling. Have a look. That is a three-dimensional ceiling and was painted by one of the friars, just from Jesuit Society, Andrea Pozzo. So, what is the meaning of the painting? He dressed in gray color outfits. He is Saint Ignatius, and he received something like the light coming from Jesus. So, just Jesuits, they opened their society in here. What was the main thing done by Jesuits? They opened schools in Rome. And in the States, I don't know in Mexico, in the States there are many schools or universities run by Jesuits. And some of them left Rome and they moved all around the world. And they opened their main task was to teach children or students.
Do you remember Mexico City? There was a Jesuit university there.
Yeah.
So this is just, you see just how it's represented in all parts of the world. You see on the right, that is Africa, can you see it? Okay, that is on the left Asia, and it's beautiful really just how they represent. But also if you look in there, for example, can you see columns and arches? It seems to us this ceiling is much higher of its real height because of three-dimensional paintings and also the columns. It seems to us really just going more and higher, and the same purchase in there. And let's move to the other side in the I like very much look at presentation of America. America just in there. You see?
Native American.
This representation is from the 17th century. How did they imagine to represent Native Americans? Just this one, and also there is Europe, just represented in there. That is really interesting. This is three-dimensional, and this was one person who painted.
Wow.
So it's incredible how he was able in the 17th. It's one of the most famous paintings. But you see, there is a. Can you see just here? There is a dome. Supposed to us that was designed just with a Mongol for the dome. They wanted very much just to build a dome like that. But the family cut money, and they said to him, "We don't have money just to give you to complete the construction of the church." And so, how did they find the solution? So let's go have a look.
Is it one of those?
You see just where the yellow disc is. So if you stay there, I will take it. Look at the dome.
Ready for four? Just gonna let it be done.
So they needed to find a solution to complete the construction of the church. And this is fake dome. This is painted dome. This is flat.
Oh, really?
They did not have money. This is only one dome in the whole room, one church. It's a fake dome. The dome doesn't exist. There is canvas, and they painted on canvas. From here, it looks like a dome, right? But if we'll move in there, from here, you see, just go look at the dome. You see, just the dome does not exist.
No.
Really, just it's this is also the idea how it's possible to save money.
Okay, now I see it.
You see it?
Yeah.
So the dome doesn't exist. This is in the one church. Fake dome. The church is beautiful. So I will show you some pictures. So this is a funeral monument to the family who gave money, who donated money for the construction of the church. And there was a papal family, Ludovisi, the Pope Gregorio XV, and his nephew, Ludovico Ludovisi. And this is a typical Baroque monument, Baroque style. It looks like a theatre, like performance. Can you see the Pope? He's ready just to, it seems like he's blessing people who are looking at him. And there are two angels with trumpets. It seems like they're opening the curtain. The show just is ready to start. And there are two ladies, one of them on the left with a cross symbolizes the church, and another one with cornucopia symbolizes abundance. Interesting, just his nephew, all particular details. Have a look, just his beard, his small eyes, his nose, his profile. And there are two angels, they're also just opening the curtain, the cloth, and one of the angels, he put his torch down. So that means he died, his life just passed away. And they use colorful marble, and the blue color stone is lapis lazuli, which is just a semi-precious stone. And look, just all particular details. And the gilded parcetta is a gilded bronze, and it's beautiful, really. Just that is a typical Baroque monument of the time. And this is a modern Italian artist. It took him more than 20 years. It's just everything done manually in wood. He decided to unify all the religions from all around the world. Maybe let's try Mexico, because all the names are written in here. Now, this is Canada, Mexico. What is and supposed to us this? What is that one?
I think that's probably the church in Mexico City. What's it called? I can't remember. No, it's the one in Vallarta. It's the main cathedral, probably downtown.
So Regis had done everything by himself, and just took him more than 20 years, and he decided to unify all the religions. And it's just they come from China, from Japan.
You're missing 2 or 3.
Is this missing? What is that one? What is missing?
This one that says, oh, Canada.
Canada
Canada's
is missing. And this
That's
one
the
is
US. They should give us all Lego.
so it's interesting.
That take me 10
So,
years.
and this is
It took him 20.
And this church is a headquarter for Jesuits.
Oh, okay.
And this is the Saint Ignatius Church. The church is totally built in the century. Do you know how did they use that one? These little houses, these spaces. How did they use it? Do you know? What are they? To sell for? To sell for? No.
Oh, is it the Stations of the Cross?
They are confessional. Just to confess something. Usually just this door is open, and there is a priest who sits in here, and they close the window. And people, if you come here, people they just kneel. And then there is a grill, so priest can't see you, and you can't see the priest. And so just people usually confess all of their sins done.
After last night, maybe you should come confess.
There are many Catholic churches in Mexico.
Oh, Greg is Catholic.
Have you been raised in Catholic?
Yeah.
But in Italy, it's just the same. People they don't go to the church for Sunday morning masses, but it means nothing because you have been raised in Catholic country and Catholic family. And they just free from the West, and he's president of the baby, and then just 6 countries, and he said to the and councils representing the church, what does it mean? So what's what he wrote is not the design of the Catholic, not the style. This is really true, because my family is Catholic, even just we had never been in the church. And was waiting for possibility just to come to give presents to the little baby, just it's important. And then this communion, baptized communion, all these steps. You are going to just everybody. Protestant, this is a precious
They were baptized united. It's between the two.
But even because I know, I think in Mexico that in the States, for example, that churches Christian.
Yes.
Tradition to throw a coin into the fountain. Just in case you will.
I have some coins,
You have
yeah.
some coins. Okay.
Yeah.
I also brought some. How many? Show me your coins. Oh, it's too much. You take back all the coins.
Okay, well, that's this one.
So it's
Is
too
that
much.
better?
€1. It's like this. No. It's not okay.
Okay.
So let me ask him if they can change it.
10 cents. My goodness, those look like some good. Look at the cherries. 10 cents.
Let's stop. I want to ask you.
10 cents.
I know, they've got gelato. And what's that cherry? Oh, you gotta see this.
Well, we can see it while we're here.
But you're not taking ice cream in my car.
Look at that.
Don't throw it from here. You can hit somebody. I hate that man who's just selling vegetables and fruits. First of all, they're very expensive. And then I don't have coins. Since us, nobody's buying it. So, but I got it. One.
Oh, thank you.
I have here €1. 3 and 4. This is, it's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. Let's go.
Why a 10-cent coin?
No, because €2 is too much. It's just a waste of money. It's just like a symbol. A little coin. 1, 2, 5, 10, 20, 50. Okay.
Let's see if we can get a good spot here.
So, first of all, just let's stop on the right, this way. Of the 4 rivers. That fountain was from the 17th century. This fountain 100 of years later, from the 18th century. The same, there was a contest in between artists organized by one of the popes, and his name is Clemente the 12th. And so they decided to dedicate this fountain to the sea god, who was Poseidon. On Neptune, he's just going outside from a niche. And he is driving his chariot, and his chariot looks like a big seashell, drawn by 4 horses, and there are 2 more tritons. Triton is half human, half fish, below back. And it seems like the water just splashed from this side. And this fountain has been attached on the side part of the palace. Now there is a museum inside. And there is a tradition in Rome. If you would like to come back to Rome, you need to throw your coin into the fountain. Staying just with your back to the fountain, using your right hand over the left shoulder. If you do it, it's not like this. Like this.
Yeah.
Let's go closer to the water.
So what's the challenge?
So let's go a minute to the right.
That side? All right.
And you will just throw your coin at the limit.
I'm gonna push. So you gotta hold your coin. Okay, which way are you gonna go?
Just I'm counting. Can you? 1, 2, 3, go.
Now what?
Can you please to check?
Goal.
You see behind you how many coins are there?
Rusty.
So they collect it every Monday morning. People come and sweat coins. Before the beginning of pandemic, an Italian newspapers they published how much money. Today, 3,000 euros. Personally, I don't believe.
3,000. That's.
They have never counted them. They just weight them. So that's why, because sometimes even just dollars or any kind of coin just coming from the world. But they use them for charity. All the money are going to the Vatican charity organization, which opens free parishes for food to give food for homeless people. So there is a big debate between local authorities and Vatican authorities. Because local authorities of Rome, they decided to keep money. But nobody wants just to discuss the Vatican thing. So that's why just they say the Vatican money. And this is the so-called later Baroque style of the fountain. It's still Baroque. And it's beautiful. It has been cleaned recently. And the cleaning was paid by Fendi fashion designers. During the cleaning, they drained the fountain and they provided a bridge in here. And people were able just to look how cleaners, just what are they doing. And after inauguration, after cleaning Fendi, they organized their Fendi fashion show in here. There was a bridge made in glass and models were walking at the top of the bridge. They looked like walking at the air. So this is also beautiful. And this is also, just going back to the question, this is papal Rome.
Okay.
It's just it was built by Pope, commissioned by Pope, and desired by Pope. So everything for Pope. What is the best fountain for you? This one, the official name is Trevi. Trevi stands for number 3. Because in the 18th century, they built 3 streets just crossing the square, in the same place. What is your favorite fountain? This one, Trevi, or the fountain of the 4 rivers? I can't choose. For you?
This one, definitely. I mean, it's over the top for sure, but it's fancy as all heck, and I like it.
It's beautiful. I love it.
And it makes me think of a song.
No. All right, the last stop today. That's fun.
Egyptian obelisk. Whatever. It's fine.
Was a big house. I put lights there. Mexico just the same.
I don't know if you can see that, but that's some good alignment right there. Reminds me of Mexico City. 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 9, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. One, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 132. 132 steps in 2 minutes. Well, basically 3 minutes.
So, how many steps did you count?
132.
132 for you? Same. Okay. You're right. Excellent.
By how much? No? This step.
So maybe just you missed. It's really just 132. Have you counted this one? Also this.
That's the 32nd.
32nd. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Let's go this way. Show me something.
Alright, let's go.
And they're really. So why they're so important, the Spanish steps? Because can you see there are no straight steps just to go. This is just there is a simple passageway and then splits in 2 breaks. And then there is a first balcony and then splits in second break. And then just where the obelisk is, they just the last panoramic terrace. And they are, the steps are from the time of the Trevi Fountain. Remember? You said to us that you tried out this Trevi Fountain?
Yep.
And this also was a contest organized by one of the popes in 1732. And local architect, this he won the contest and he was honored just to build these steps. On the top, there is a church built by French community 500 years ago. Imagine. And also, why do we call Spanish? Just from here, can you see on the right hand side, there is a flag. Just waving. Have you found? So that is a flag of Spain. In there just there is a Spanish embassy. Not to Italy, but to the Vatican City. Vatican is an independent country, and they acquired the building since 16th century. So that's why just If you look on top, there was a French community. Other side there was Spanish people. And popes just decided to let them know join the papal kingdom. So that's why in the 17th century the fountain was built by the same artist who designed the Fountain of the Four Rivers, Bernini. His life was very long, 82 years, so that's why he was commissioned by many, many popes, cardinals, and wealthy families. The fountain looks like a boat.
Yeah.
Respect of the current fountain, it's much smaller. They didn't have enough water pressure in here, so that's why it's. And also they would like to remind us many, many connections. There was a flood in Rome, and people used to take their boats, and also Peter and Andrew, they were fishermen, so many connections with the boat. And that is a drinkable water. And this is just going from that side and that, and people may drink water. Sometimes they're staying on a little island just to refill their bottles with water. So, on the left, there is a very famous tea room, tea house, opened by ladies from London 100 years ago. Because in that time, people from London like very much to stay in this area, and they like very much to take a cup of tea at 5 p.m. So that's why, till now, there is a possibility to take a cup of tea. All of those streets, they just have been opened by designers, by French and Italian designers. They are very small boutiques.
Oh, there's Gucci.
Gucci on the right.
Oh, there's Prada.
Prada.
I didn't notice.
We have Dior in here. And imagine, it seems to me 2 weeks ago, Valentino, a nice fashion show in here.
Oh.
So they turned the square in, they put chairs and models. The statues,
wow.
It was in a night.
Yeah.
It was beautiful, really. And so all of these small streets, they are just fashion designers' boutiques. These, and then the next one, and the next one, and the left just the same. So this is, sometimes we come here for window shopping. And also because there are coffee shops, people may stop, just take a cup of coffee, just walking. It's beautiful, beautiful country. Some ideas. Okay.
We had very little shopping. So when we get to a big city like Mexico City, Guadalajara, our credit card takes
What's your favorite designer?
She's not really. She's cheap, actually.
Oh, really? What about you?
He's really cheap.
Oh, okay.
It's me.
Okay. Let's go in that direction. This way. And you see just there is a column in there, and there is a statue of Mary. So the column was placed in there in 1852 and Mary. Because there is one important festivity in the Catholic Church on December the 8th dedicated to Mary. And imagine, every year Pope comes here. And his dream, he wants to leave the crown of flowers on Mary's hand. And you see just the dry flowers in there.
Yeah.
But Pope, usually all the popes ever, they can't climb up. Every December the 8th, this Pope asks for help to find them, and they climb up using a ladder, and they leave the crown of flowers. And they will change it next December. So that is a particular festivity dedicated to Mary.
Huh.
And by the Catholic Church. And this is a new shop opened by Valentino. And I'll show you, there is his headquarters in here. This is, for example, can you see Samsung? So that building, for example, is not Italian building. That is part of the Vatican city-state. In Italy, if you're providing restoration of the building, you need to show outside how the building looks like. And you're not allowed to be paid by companies. So this is the Vatican, and the Vatican can do everything as they like. So you see it from the side? From this side, maybe you can't close up. See, there is a letter B. So there is a headquarters on it. In here, retired, but he likes very much. There are young designers in it. And this is like this is huge. And there is a symbol of the back at the time of the flag. There are two keys in his symbol. The one is golden key on the left, and the one is silver key, and there is a paper tiara wear by those particular occasions. And this is just a symbol of Spain. So it's impossible to be in there. It's beautiful.